Everyone close your eyes. Now imagine you're on a beach or surrounded in, or submerged in water below a waterfall, or in whatever natural environment best lets you connect to nature. Once you have it, notice that in this moment you're in complete awe and only focusing on the beauty surrounding you. Open your eyes. This sensation is a feeling embedded deep within us as humans from both a personal and evolutionary perspective. Hello, my name is Sophia Prestipino, and today I will be diving deeper into the question, how does a human connection to nature impact psychological well-being? Thank you all for being here. So I have quite the personal background with this topic, which is why I chose it in the first place, which is that a nature connection was something that was highly valued in my family growing up. And even though I was born and spent majority of my childhood in the heart of St. Louis, we still made the effort to shoot out to our family cabin on the weekends, which is in the boonies of Missouri. It's in the middle of nowhere, so you're really connecting with nature. And it's very significant to my family because my grandpa built it on my mom's side. And that's what made this property a very special, sacred place for me to go. And also helped me to establish this positive relationship with nature, this need to connect at such a young age. Oh, no, too far. So I had been experiencing these feelings of awe and fascination in nature, and then I've carried them throughout my whole life so far. I mean, I'm only 18, but you know. And this made me want to investigate the positive effects that it has on the mind and body. So to fully grasp this topic, we need to understand what psychological well-being is. And it can generally be defined as an optimal state of health characterized by one's fullest realization of their potential psychologically, spiritually, socially, economically, and physically. And this was stated by the World Health Organization. And then these are just like some important things that play into one's max psychological well-being. And I'm going to keep coming back to this and connecting back to it, so just keep it in mind. Clinical psychologists from the George Fox University proved that there was a deeper meaning behind these feelings of awe and fascination. This was through a study that revealed that fascination and time spent in nature were highly associated with reduced negative effect and increased positive effect in their lives. And the study also showed that NBR, which stands for nature-based rehabilitation, activities, fascination, time spent in nature, and feelings of awe significantly impacted one's emotional well-being. So here we can already kind of start to see the intertwining between this physical, mental, and emotional well-being through just being in the presence of a natural environment. And this brings me to the stress reduction theory. This theory proposes that nature can reduce extreme effects that stressors have on one's well-being, and that happens through a variety of physiological processes. But what's physically happening in the body that can cause such a sense of relief? Processes occurring in the body include increased parasympathetic activity and reduced cortisol concentration while in the presence of nature. So over here, we have the parasympathetic nervous system, which is calm, and it is responsible for the rest and relaxation and lives in the quiet region of the brain. While this gets a little more crazy and scary over here. And it controls the fight or flight response to a stressful situation. And these are some things that happen in the body that let us know that we're stressed, like rises in heart rate, less saliva production, which, I mean, I've never noticed, but And that brings me to cortisol, which is a natural steroid hormone that is produced and released from the adrenal gland, which is located on top of the kidneys. And that's responsibility is to help regulate your body's response to stress, so kind of lessen how bad it could get and, like, you know, work its magic in a way. And the evidence that I was referring to previously stated that there was reduced cortisol concentration, which means that there was less focus on stress, but rather increased rest and relaxation as there was more activity in the parasympathetic nervous system. Remember back to a time when you felt fully immersed in nature, and this could have even been a little activity in the beginning. And once you have it, you may remember that it felt very effortless and took little attention, or little to no attention. This was you cultivating a form of mindfulness through the attention restoration theory. This theory suggests that nature promotes personal well-being through two systems stemming from improved attention. The first being directed attention, which is a form of attention that requires effort to maintain and is highly susceptible to fatigue, which is this directed attention fatigue right here. And then that leads us to effortless or involuntary attention, which involves inherent interest and focus in the environment that you're in and requires little effort to maintain. And nature plays a big part in this, as natural settings elicit this involuntary attention that I mentioned that's produced internally in order to feel a reset of the directed attention. And this leaves individuals feeling restored from whatever it was that their attention was directed on, whether that be work, rumination, stress, relationships, anything natural for a human to worry about, because we all do it on a daily basis. Something that helps people to healthily cope with these stressors and bring greater meaning to their life is a solid belief system, which for some may be spirituality. Spirituality can objectively be defined as one's inner belief system that brings greater meaning to their existence, as I just mentioned. From a biological standpoint of spirituality, we can look at the Australian Aboriginal spirituality as it does a really great job at connecting nature and spirituality to be one. Their belief system is founded on the notion of a deep interconnectedness between all elements of the earth and the universe, where people, animals, plants, and landscapes are all essentially interrelated. And there's this idea of reciprocity between the environment and the beings that coexist within it. So kind of like a give a little, get a little, like we live for the earth, and then the earth lives and provides so that we can be here. So the depth of connectedness that they have with nature instills these feelings of awe and wonder and fascination that I keep coming back to, which once again leads to curiosity and interest. And this reflects the existential component of spirituality, which helps to challenge our thoughts on the meaning that we hold. And I think that this is an essential theory that one has to grapple with in order to come out on the other end with the realization of their fullest potential psychologically. So not only does spirituality have profound effects on the mind, but quite literally the body as well. Two psychologists at MIT University of Australia found studies that indicated that maintaining some form of spiritual orientation not only brings out the psychological effects, but also can promote resilience in those whose physical health may be on a rapid decline or just straight up deteriorating. So if nature's immersiveness can nurture this spiritual connection to the earth and the self from within, both mentally and physically, mentally being the realization of their sense of purpose and meaning, and then physically just being the health benefits of spirituality, then we can infer that a healthy sense of well-being will follow. And this also brings attention to the idea that psychological and physical health very much go hand in hand when one is more in touch with their personal spirituality. And these psychological and physical aspects of one's life are working together to balance each other out, which was kind of mentioned in the psychological well-being definition, that like there's all these aspects of their life and they need to be balanced in order to reach your fullest psychological well-being. The foundation of human health starts with one's individual connection to nature through all that I've read. Because being in an environment that exhibits these involuntary processes, which was mentioned in the attention restoration theory, This brings greater awareness to individuals that are experiencing unpleasant situations in their life as just fleeting and temporary. This clearly connects mindfulness, nature connection, and healthy coping mechanisms, which are also very important for psychological well-being, to be able to healthily cope with these imbalances in these other regions of your life. Even ecopsychology and ecotherapy have explored this idea that nature-based therapy may be a lot more effective than your common clinical forms of therapy that you see every day, but this is just an assumption that they've come to. So in order to promote greater restoration and well-being, there's been conversation surrounding the integration of nature into the designs of schools, workplaces, and communities. This brings me to the greatest importance of my topic, which is that our behaviors as humans directly affect the Earth whether or not we're conscious of it. And there's this dominance and equality within society and within the human race that's exerted among the human race, which therefore is directly exerted or projected onto the larger environment. And I believe that a deeper collective connection to nature among the human race will result in a healthier environment, and the more interrelated we will feel among other beings, including one another. This deeper care we hold for the Earth is already rooted in human biology, meaning that it's of human instinct to care for other humans and for other animals and the land that's brought us here and brought us all together. And this is a care that needs to be uprooted in order to protect our land of resources and endless opportunities. Yes, there's so much more to be discovered about the human connection to nature, why it makes us feel the way it does, and how we can turn around that damage done, not only for the benefit of itself, but to heal the curious souls of the human race. Thank you.
All right. We